Everybody's got a story to tell. My life is something like a novel. I've had my share of highs and lows, more stories than the Bible.
So, addiction is not new to Baltimore. We've been dealing with heroin for a long time, and so it's been a crisis.
I was young. I guess I started smoking marijuana when I was like 13. I think by the time I was 15, my mother decided to give me a hit off of some coke, but freebasing. And naturally, people shouldn't, you gotta be careful what you choose because you might just like it. From there, I think I was off to the races. I would do it all. It didn't matter.
I guess I really started smoking and taking a sip of this and a sip of that, with my peers, go along and get along. I think when I was about 22, I moved back home and I had my oldest son. He was a few months old, and my brother introduced me to cocaine. I really got into it, and it became a habit, and it became an unmanageable habit to where instead of taking care of my business first, the cocaine came first, and that's when everything started falling apart and whatever. I keep a roof over their head. They have a clean home. They have food. They have clean clothes. So I'm taking care of them. And that's how I justify. Looked at my son's face one day and an expression on his face, and that's when I realized what I was doing to my children as well.
Although for majority of my life, I didn't even know that he was an addict until I was 18, and realized like, you were doing this that one time because of this, and like, you weren't as present in these moments because of this. You know what I'm saying? So it just started to make a little more sense once I like found out.
Between 85 and 90% of the children that we represent come in due to parental neglect, and that neglect is oftentimes more than not associated with substance use.
When I was little, I used to call my mother about every day or every 2 days to update about stuff, right? Just a little kid, hey, I'm doing this, da 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 da. Yeah, that stopped happening. Like from 13 to 15, the calls were every 2 weeks or every 3. Like, it just kept distancing, and now I don't talk to her at all. It still affects me. I still like felt like I loved this woman I thought who was, I don't know, actually. I just don't even know how to finish that sentence. I thought she was someone who loved me. I was wrong.
In a family system where there is alcohol or drug use, I really don't think that there's anybody who's unaffected. And I think that's the thing which makes it very challenging for children, because for the young people, what they are looking for and what they need are things that all children need, which is stability, consistency, predictability. And when they have to deal with a chaotic home environment, that sends children into orbit.
There's a lot of emotions going there with self-loathing, depression, and being, just feeling destroyed overall. And it was just not a good time for me. And that just added on to the fact of me feeling less valued, feeling less valued towards myself. It just made everything a little bit worse, you know.
Folks who are dealing with addiction, they're not trying to get high. They just want to stay well. They want to feel normal.
Through it all, I loved you with every fiber of my being. I was sick. And I was dependent on a chemical, you know, it was in my body and in my mind. And I was sick. So I couldn't control it. It had control over me. If I was, you know, in control and in my right mind, I would never, ever. Things would have been, you know, a lot different. It would have never went down like that.
In this chronic illness model, recognizing that people have good intentions, recognizing that there is a brain illness that needs to be undone. If more people realize that, then you wouldn't expect someone to go into a 7-day program or even a 30-day program or a 90-day program and come out with all the tools that you need to maintain lifetime recovery. It often takes individuals several years. For those that reach recovery, it takes them several years to get there.
For many young people, what they're fortunate enough to do is to find somebody who is a caring adult who reaches out to them and helps them to understand that they are not alone.
Personally, when I'm working with children who are suffering, who are having a really hard time, I try to focus on building them up where they're already strong. I really focus on that. And so whenever I'm with them, there's always a space of empowering and inspiring and loving and nurturing, because I know that leads to healing.
But because she has done those things, in a way, I feel lucky that she's done those things, because my aunt had the chance and opportunity to raise me in her image. And I love to be a reflection of my aunt, because I am capable of anything and everything. And it's because of that woman, Dorothy Miles, that I can be anything I want and work hard for it, understanding that I deserve it because I earned it.